Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. And this is essentially the first video of my trading, you channel. Basically, I'm going to be posting this on TikTok as well, so please feel free to check that out. Essentially, what I'm going to be just doing in this video is straightforward, teaching you the strategy that I trade. Personally, it has an 80 plus percent win rate as long as you know how to manage your risks. There are a lot of people out there that won't be telling you, they'll tell you it's 100% win rate, 90% win rate, 70%, 60, etc., etc. But they won't tell you the key thing, which is managing your risk. Okay, essentially, I won't be teaching you how to manage your risk within this specific video, but there will be other videos coming onto this with linking into the strategy, what I use, and how I manage risk with each trade. Okay, so let's get straight into it. The strategy I trade is inverse. Let me type this in as well. Inverse fair value gap. Okay. I also do have. Let me make this you know transparent review lot. I do use indicators. They're not really. Uh, it's not really something big. It's just fair value gap where I can see it's Lux Algo. Essentially, just it's easier for me visually where once the fair value gap is created, I can simply just I know where it is, and I just put my own fair value gap in here and mark it out so I can look in the higher time frame to see if there's any fair value gaps there. I'll get into that later on. But essentially, that's what I use, and I also use equal highs and lows. If you want these indicators, I'll put a link in description. They're all for free, so you don't have to pay for it, anything like that. So essentially, I won't be. Well, equal highs and equal lows are quite straightforward. They're just once a price has made come down or gone up, it will make equal lows or equal highs. Essentially, it just is a very strong draw on liquidity. Especially with this strategy, it is very, very useful and comes in handy. Okay, so that's all and done and over the way. So yeah, it's the inverse fair value gap strategy, and so we are currently in 828. What I normally do is I will check if there are news on the trading day that I'm going to be trading. Essentially, what news day is it just helps me gets a bit more confidence in the to myself and towards strategy. Yet alone that once the news does happen, it will be a very there will be a really nice setup potentially, and the trades that I do take are more higher probability on that specific day. So let's check here if we got news. So this is what I normally use. It's the forexfactory.com. And yeah, this is the website I currently use for checking any news for red folders. I don't really check the orange or the yellow. I ignore them, but I just check for the red. So as we can see at 8:30 within the US, we do have PCE. So what we'll do is we'll just let the news play it out. So let's just do that. Here we go. That's the news. Okay. What do I do here? We've got equal lows here as well. But what I do is I mark this as news low, have this as news high. Here we go. There you go. News low here. Done. All right. Cool. So we got news low, we got news high. All right. And then I just wait for one of these to be swept now. So let's see which one does get swept. Okay. All right, cool. We've got a news load that has been swept. It has left also a fair value gap here. But what is this? Why would I not take this fair value gap um, for a trade? Well, essentially, this is too small. I do not like this type of fair value gap when it's when it's currently on like not even a pip, right? I don't like this type of fair value gap, so I won't be taking trades on this. So now know that news low has been swept. I wait for a setup for a news high. I keep waiting. Okay, so all right, now I still don't see a good fair value gap that I would take on the 1 minute. So what do? I go to the 2 minutes just to see if there is a fair value gap in the 2 minutes, and lo and behold, we do actually have a fair value gap in the 2 minutes. But this is quite small. If this is if this was a bit more bigger, actually no. You know what? I would potentially take it depending on my bias and everything. But this could be a fair value gap that I would potentially take. What would I do here is I would simply go on here and mark it as 2 so that I know myself that this is a 2 minute fair value gap. So now what do? I go to the 3 minutes to see if there's a 3 minute fair value gap. There isn't a 3 minute. Okay, so I just go back to 1 and let the price do its thing again. Okay, let me just take that off board. All right, cool. Oh, there we go. And now we've got a nice 1 minute fair value gap here. This is a very strong one. Okay, so we got a 1 minute fair value gap. Let me see if this, okay, keeps, this technically means it's in a higher time frame. So let me go to the 5 minute real quick. Yeah, okay, I had a feeling. Okay, so we've got a higher time frame fair value gaps now. What does this mean? It means that I will simply just trade on the higher time frame now. I personally only use 1 to 5 minutes for the strategy. I don't go any higher. I don't take any fair value gaps any higher. So yeah, this is a 5 minute. Let me just check if this is in the 10 minute. Just in case it's not in the 10 minute. Perfect, cool. So I just wait for this 5 minute to get inversed. Okay, so it came up to here. It has not been inversed. All right, so it's actually went down. So now what I do, I go back to 1 minute, and there could be another setup potentially waiting for me to take. So inverse that 1 minute there. Okay, still got nothing here. Maybe in the 3 minutes, do we have any? We do not have any in the 3 minutes. We do have this one, but I don't really like it because it's underneath the 5 minute, etc. I'll rather take this one instead. So let me go back to the 1 minute. Okay, let it play out. All right. Do you have a 1 minute here? We'll potentially go up to here now because the inverse. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it will still need to be waiting for our setup. Alrighty, okay. So I believe in the 5 minutes it has not been inversed. Okay. Ah, there we go. It's been inversed. Cool. I will simply enter the trade here. Right on here. My stop loss will be below this level on the candle close. So essentially, if the price did reverse back, and whatever, if the candle closed below this fair value gap, I would simply just exit out the trade, and that's it. But my hard stop loss would be essentially on this type of range because essentially I do like to keep my risk minimal, so that I don't go overboard because you can't trust the price, right? You don't know what could happen. You can't tell the future. But anyways, this would be my target, which is the news high because that's a strong draw on liquidity. And as I stated, within the strategy, it works really well on news days. So let's play it out, and here we go. Okay, so it's currently, oh, there you go. It did go up and it won. So yeah, that's 20 pips. There you go. That's a 20 pip trade. And this strategy works really, really well with the news days. So make sure if you are going to trade the strategy, you're checking for news. Essentially, I will teach the risk management in the next video. Because this video is just talking about the fair value gap and how to trade the strategy. That is it. I won't be talking about break even, about how much you should be risking per trade on each fair value gap, etc., etc. That will be from the next video. But yeah, that's essentially it. We can go to a different one. So let me just look at the news days. Okay, let me pull the news days out. Here we go. All right. So let's go to any news day that we can find. Here we go. Thursday. All right, we got Thursday news at 8:30 again. All right, so what do? I will go to Thursday. Uh, well, hello. You gonna work? Okay, like, alrighty then. 8:30. We'll go Thursday. All right, here we are. So we're on Thursday at 8. We're coming at. Let me just play it to 8:30. It should be over there. There we go. So let's just play it out. There you go. That's it. Another news day. Well, lo and behold, here we go. Back on it again, eh? News high. We got news low. Keeping it very, very simple, very easy to understand, and just straightforward. No messing around. So here we go. We got news high here. Here we go. All right. Now let's just wait for a setup. Let's wait for one of these to be swept. All right. So news high did get swept. Okay. So and then we've got a big fair value gap here. I will not be taking that because this will be in the higher time frames as well. Um. So yeah, let me just wait for a setup. Oh, there was no setup. The news low has also been swept. Well, sometimes this does happen. You won't be having trades every single news day, but they are higher probability days compared to other days. But let's continue waiting for a setup. Here we go. What do we have here? We've got equal lows. As I told you guys about, it's a very strong on liquidity. So, and that does mean that if the price wants to inverse this fair value gap here, I personally wouldn't take a long, even though it can potentially work because we've got equal lows. If we did not have any equal lows, I can take this trade to the next potential high. So let's see. Okay, still got nothing here. Okay. Oh, news low has been swept now. So I can take a trade now if it inverses for a long. We've got a 2 minute here. We've got a 3 minute. No, we don't. We've got a 2 minute. So we got a 2 minute fair value gap right here. Very, very nice. Here we go. 2 minutes. Let's see if it inverses 2 minutes. Oh, we got another 2 minutes actually. Okay, is this a 3 minute? Let me check just in case. It's not a 3 minute, it's a 2 minutes though. So we got another 2 minutes here, which I potentially will be looking into. So here we have a 2 minutes. Here we go. Okay, so I will wait for the inverse. Boom, it inversed right there, but it also took out internal liquidity. I personally, depending on my bias, etc., it could depend if I want to take this trade or not, but just to show you how this inverse strategy works, I would target this high is the first high. This would be the second high, of course. So let's see what the price does. Okay, the price comes up to here. Does it go to TP or reverses back? Okay, there you go. So that would have been how long would that trade be essentially? From from 8:46 to 9:30. All right, not too bad. Okay, but that's a 45 foot win trade. As again, once again, I am not teaching you about risk management yet. I am only teaching you the strategy on hand. It's the inverse strategy. That is it. So, and this strategy does have an 80% win rate. Now, that's basically it, to be honest. There's not nothing too much to it. The keynotes is this. So these are the requirements for the strategy to be a higher probability, essentially A plus setups, etc. Right? So this is what the requirements you guys need for the strategy. Requirements. Check if it's a news day. Check if there's equal highs and there's equal lows. Okay, check if the fair value gap is in one time frame. Sorry, and then it's 1 to 5 minutes, which I take normally for the strategy, and that is essentially it. To be fair, so we're looking for news days. We're looking for equal highs, equal lows. Why equal highs, equal lows? They are the strong draw on liquidity. When do I not take a fair value gap? When there is an equal low on the opposite side of what I wanted to trade. For example, I wanted to go into this long here, right? And there was an equal low down here. I didn't take it. Sorry, I did take this because equal low got swept. If equal low didn't get swept here, I would have not taken this trade whatsoever. Okay, because once you have a draw on liquidity, I don't personally, I don't like trading that. This strategy does have other biases, other confluences, which I'm not going to be showing in this video. Okay, it does. I do use SMT divergences as well with the SMP, but I am not going to be putting that in this one video. All I am doing is just showing you on hand on how to trade the inverse fair value gap. So that's currently it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like it. And yeah, man, I will be teaching you this strategy and how to become better at managing your risk with this strategy and how you can be more profitable. I'm gonna be transparent with everyone. I want to try my best to answer all your questions, whatever inquiry you have, or any issues you get with the strategy or anything. Let me know. I'll try and help that out. And yeah, man, that's it. That's the first video. Hopefully you liked it, and then I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.